which are one or two brands which you would say that, uh, are kind of admired by that generation? And what have some of those companies done? In other words, let's say if I pick I just pick company X, right? And what about that company? Is it you obviously mentioned that it's about on demand. Are there other characteristics which we can generalize, which you would say that is kind of what this generation expects? And here's one or two companies who've successfully done that.
It's very uncanny, Nikhil, you asked me this question. I am in the market for a new phone. And, surprisingly, we were a bunch of cousins who met. And surprisingly, 4 out of the cousins we met were Gen Z cousins. So I have much younger cousins. So I just asked that, what phone do you think I should get? And all 4 of them said, but Apple. And I was like, why? Why shouldn't I try a Samsung or a OnePlus? Because they have these fancy phones as well. But Apple is the best brand. And now, don't get me wrong, these are not marketeers I was talking to. But I said, why do you think it's the best brand? And, it was very interesting to see why they would evaluate it as the best and why you and I would, or, our parents would, or other generations would. And they said, but it's simple. Look at what it stands for. And the other thing they said, every year they do something different, but they don't confuse people like multiple offerings from other companies like Samsung. I said, yes, but they don't have too much choice. I mean, my next probe was. But then they said, that's good because they don't need it. One product is good enough. They have choice, Pro Max, etc. That was one thing. And the other thing I realized, and what I've been observing this a lot these days, suddenly you will find a lot of my Gen Z family will be wearing brands I've never heard about. They'll be wearing, there is this person in Uttarakhand who's making these shirts from hemp. So we are supporting that because he's supporting the farmer. Then there will be someone else who will say that I have decided, if someone has just got kids, a Gen Z person, just got an infant, I have decided to use wooden toys only because I don't like plastic. And I'm looking at this brand, which is doing very good stuff out of Channapatna, which is actually, incidentally, the home of wooden toys in India. But this brand is doing something which is safe for toddlers, etc. So to summarize, I still think brands like Apple have created that context, which still sits well with even you, me, or a Gen Z. The other thing I realized that other generations, and I hate to put myself as a very older person, but I am, will look at a value for money in a very different context. Gen Z, on the other hand, is willing. They are not people who will spend money needlessly. I'm in no shape or form saying that. But they will spend money for things that they truly value. So this is different. For you and I will, and I'm clubbing us together, we'll look at a value for money equation, but they will spend money for the things they value most. Yeah. And I see that distinct difference, that those hemp shirts that I saw were extremely expensive, actually more than maybe a Zodiac or a Van Heusen or something. But they would do that because they feel that the brand has a purpose. Yeah. So it's about connecting with the truth. And they will feel that they will spend money for those toys and not consume plastic. And they're better for toddlers. They can be, the toddler, if they take something in their mouth, it's all good because they're made in an ethical way. They will spend on organic. So to my mind, couple of characteristics that I think are simplicity, truth, much more. And with truth, I feel ethical brands with a purpose, who talk about their purpose, are far more acceptable than anything else. Yeah. This is not to say that, they don't drink Coca-Cola, but Coca-Cola has done something very interesting. Coke associates itself with music, creates music, so the brand, back in the day, its advertising was all about how it's amazing, it makes you feel good. But today, Coke is saying, I'm all about a lifestyle. So it's brands which speak that story. To my and I don't know where I read it many weeks ago or months ago. There's some people call them the true generation or the truth generation. Mm-hmm. So it's I think McKinsey did something on Gen Z. All of you, people like you, McKinsey, are doing a lot of research. And it's very interesting. They do go for that. And they like the entire sort of the associations with ethics and purpose that brands expound.